Thank you for your time. The questions I'm going to ask were formed by a group of Chicago teens who are interested in addressing and starting a dialogue about topics most important to our peers, neighborhood, community, Chicago, etc. We are still in the process of gathering feedback related to some of our questionnaire topics, and your answers and opinions are very important to this process. At the end of this survey, please give us feedback on how to improve this process for future interviews and suggest questions that you would like us to ask your community. State your name and relationship to me.
My name is Avian Williams, and you're one of my close friends.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
Which neighborhood?
Woodline.
How long have you lived in Chicago?
My whole life.
What role do you play in your community?
My role is very small. I just speak in the morning.
What is your definition of community?
Community is basically like a little neighborhood and I live with people. Oh, shit. I looked at the definition, right? But a group of people, a community is like a group of people living in the same place, that share certain characteristics.
Okay. How have you been impacted by our community, by your community?
I wouldn't say it's a negative impact. Like, I just watch certain stuff, like when I'm certain places and stuff like that.
How would your life be different if you lived in a different city or town? If it would be any different?
Depending on the city or town, I feel like we wouldn't have to be like as alert as we are in Chicago, and have to worry about certain situations.
So you feel like the crime rate in Chicago is worse than a lot of other places?
I mean, not really, kind of, sort of, but everywhere got stuff that happens.
Right. If you could change anything about your community, what would it be?
There's nothing I would change.
How do you think your community is viewed by others, and why?
I feel like that community is viewed as dangerous and stuff because of the stuff that takes place over there, like the gang violence and activity and stuff like that.
If you think this view is wrong or unfair, is there a way to change how your community is viewed by others?
I think it is unfair for people who are on the outside to judge how we're living, and they not from where we're from. But you can't really change a person's views on what they think unless they're there to experience it themselves.
All cities have to deal with issues like violence. Does the issue of violence in Chicago compare to other major cities?
Nah.
What are the top 3 issues/concerns that you would like to address and start a dialogue with your community?
Probably be like littering, the loitering, and that's about it.
You gotta give me 3.
Well, littering, loitering, and I don't know, like the buildings, like abandoned buildings and stuff like that.
If you were in charge of the media, what would you show? What would you do to change the perception of how people view you in your community?
I feel like I would show them the good stuff, like the stuff that they don't show on the news or that they don't talk about on the news.
How do you see Chicago in the future? Is this good or bad? Can it be prevented if bad?
I feel like it's gonna be kind of neutral because our generation, we don't really care enough, about what's going on and stuff. But we are woke though, so.
It is important for us to keep an ongoing dialogue for the most important issues facing our community. Are there any questions that I did not ask you that you feel I should ask others in your community?
No, ma'am.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.